Hello, this is Blue, and today I want to talk about gender. Now, this is a different kind of video, and later on you can let me know in the comments if you want me to post more things like this or not, if you liked it or not. But I think I might start reading on this channel what I write, because I think it reflects what I think in lot of aspects of life, and it could be very interesting to share my thoughts in with you. And so I'm just going to start. I want to propose an idea. It is not to only differentiate between our identity, which we call gender, and the body we have, which we call sex, but also our looks and the way we present ourselves to the world. We could call this very superficial and say that looks are not relevant, or that if we define our physical appearance, we could go back to the gender roles that we fight so much to erase. But please, I ask you to consider this concern I've had all through my life. The human species is sociable. Our society is based on our relationships with others, and we have an economic system based on the basic value of family and later on community. We search for similarities, common interests, same characteristics. These characteristics tend to be given by nature, and we aren't able to choose them. In fact, the closest groups and communities are not those brought together by common interests, but by the characteristics they are born with. One of the basic principles of being able to communicate with others is to quickly know what we have in common, what we have that is similar and what isn't. To do this, we use a method that has been largely criticized and even denied. I assume my responsibility in using this same method, but I assure never with bad intentions. We call it judging, and it consists of assuming things of a person we don't know, based on their looks and how they present themselves to the world. This includes body, sex, color of skin, and other characteristics that help us approximate the ethnicity of a person, and also if the person is thin or thick. Later, we look at how the person dresses, the style, and the gender. We basically assume the gender based on how they dress. It is in that moment we have the gender roles most prominently inside our mind, and we decide said person's gender. When we can't tell what their gender is from their clothes, face or body, sometimes we even ask, is it really that essential to know people's gender? I've seen people speculate the gender of one person in a concert of a choir of more than 100 members. Is it really so important? It looks like gender is not going to stop existing within my generation. It is the most simple differentiation that breaks us apart. We can deny we have a gender. I do it, but people will impose, assume, and judge your gender. They never ask me. It seems like the most natural thing. How can they not know if I don't have a gender? They think they know, because they deduce it from my body, clothes, and makeup. And here is where I think it is made clear that the looks and how we present ourselves to the world plays a big role in the conception of gender. We should all go on a journey to unlearn the idea that looks define gender in all cases, and we could just, when we meet a new person, ask their gender and pronouns. Another one of the preoccupations I've had that have brought me to establish the differentiation in looks and gender is the problematic ideals of some people who glorify cis women that don't adhere to gender roles but don't believe trans women if they don't present themselves in a stereotypically female way. I think a very common misconception of trans people is that they are just people that dress as the other traditional binary gender. I like to point out that every person is different, and that it would be good to clarify that the people that identify with a gender assigned to them at birth and dress in a way associated with the other traditional binary gender are not trans, because looks don't define the gender of a person. The gender of a person is defined by said person. Furthermore, people tend to have the conception that gender and sex are the same thing, and that because of this, every trans person has to want to change their physical looks and body to fit in the sex that is traditionally associated with their gender. But there are trans people that feel good in their bodies. What they don't feel good with is being addressed by the wrong pronouns. In conclusion, if we want to erase gender roles, we have to stop associating looks with gender and thinking that everybody of a gender has to have or want the same genitals. We need to recognize, however, the historical influence of gender roles to be able to analyze and fight against correctly the discrimination faced by people assigned female at birth. So this is a piece of my thoughts on gender, and I'd like to know if you want my channel to be more like this. I won't stop posting songs or book recommendations, but I think it would be interesting. I could also post some videos of me reading the stories I write, and well, I don't know, let me know please. And if you've liked this video, click thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.